Hi everyone, my name is Jenni Snell. I work for YouthLink Scotland as the IWIL National Development Officer. I recently presented at the CLD virtual chat on digital tools about how to use Jamboard as a resource within your CLD practice. So I'm going to kind of go over that presentation again on here so that you can go back to it and revisit it as and when you need. So just a little bit about Jamboard itself. So Jamboard is an online interactive whiteboard that is part of the Google suite of kind of resources. So it's really easily accessible. You don't need anything to access it. You don't even need a kind of a Google account if you're a participant. You need a Google account if you want to create a Jamboard for other people to kind of contribute to. But if you're working with a group of young people, for instance, they only need the shareable link that you've sent them and then they'll be able to access it. There's lots of resources and guidelines on the kind of Google suite as well. So if you just kind of Google Jamboard guidelines, it will come up with a whole heap of resources that you can use to kind of think through different activities that you might want to use with like young people or adult learners or communities, or it also gives you kind of step-by-step guides on how to use the platform as well, and any FAQs that you might have. So I'm just going to give a quick demonstration of Jamboard itself, so you can see my screen here. Up here on the kind of background, you can change your background. So I've got it at text just now, but you could make it blue if you wanted. You can make it more like a kind of chalkboard, which is like black, so we'll leave it at that just now. You can zoom in and out to make it easier for people to see. So I've got it just to fit my screen just now, but like as you can see, you can change all that. And you've also got like an undo button as well if you don't want to have anything there. I've named this CLD virtual chat, but obviously you could rename it to whatever you're working on. Down the left hand side is where you find all your tools that you can use. So you have got the pen. If you click on the little arrow next to the pen, it gives you different styles of pen. So you have pen, marker, highlighter and brush, and you've got different colours as well. So if I went to highlighter and yellow and then just drag it across the screen, you can see that it draws stuff there. You can also erase it. So if I decide, actually, I don't want this one here, you can just get rid of that. And you've got a kind of select button as well. So this is what to go back to if you ever need to move anything around. You've got Postit Notes. This is probably one of my favourite elements of this online kind of tool that you can use is Postit Notes. There's loads of activities that we do in person as CLD practitioners using Postit Notes. I don't know about everyone else, but I definitely have stacks of Postit Notes with me all the time as part of my CLD toolbox. So I found it really tricky at the start doing engagement sessions with young people online when I didn't have that usual kind of Postit Note approach to kind of fall back to. So this is why I kind of love Jamboard. It's got a sticky note option, so you've got different colours of sticky notes as well. Really fits my personality. I love colour coding stuff. So you can have a green Post-it note and you can just be typing whatever you want in, save it, and then it moves, and then a pink one well. So you can see there that they just kind of go onto the screen and then you can move them around. You can change the size of them. And you can kind of make them where you want. So it's really kind of useful if you're working with a group of people and you want lots of people to be contributing different kind of ideas at one time. It's a really useful way to do that. You can also add images, so you can upload an image from your own computer or your photos. You can go to Google image search, banana, and you just click it, select, and then that'll come into the screen as well, and you can just kind of again resize it. So it's really good if you wanted to make it visual and have different images and then people could kind of contribute ideas underneath, or if you had photos of an event that you wanted to kind of discuss, or photos of potential options for kind of, I don't know, a project that you're doing that you want to discuss, you can add those images in as well. You've also got a shape option. So you can see here you can add circles, squares, triangles, just your usual arrows and stuff as well. So you can kind of make arrows fit, which is really nice. and you can kind of turn them around as well. So if you wanted to kind of be a bit more kind of visual and make a kind of a flow chart or a mind map, those options are all there as well. And you can also add text too. So when you click the text box, you kind of get your normal kind of text options at the top. So you can change the style, you can change the color. So I'll change it to white, and then try and type. It's not actually letting me for some reason. Try again. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can kind of things in as well if you want. And you've also got a laser. So the laser is really useful if you're presenting on something and you want to like just point to stuff, so you can kind of draw like round things. So if I was like this banana here, it draws around it. So that's kind of like the basics of Jamboard. So it's quite simple. It's kind of similar to Paint, but it's just online, and it's a really kind of useful way of bringing a group of people together online and having everybody contribute at once. So you can have lots of people at once on this. There's no kind of limits, and you'll see like up the top, if I had more people on here, it would say like anonymous beaver or anonymous gazelle or anonymous giraffe. Like it gives you weird funky animal names. And yeah, it's just really useful to be able to kind of collaborate. So I can clear the frame now, and that's all gone. If I wanted to undo that, I can bring it back. And then I just wanted to kind of show you a few kind of ideas of things that you could use Jamboard for as well. So although that's the kind of the basic sort of functionalities of Jamboard, there's lots of different ways that you can use things. So this was just one kind of mock-up that I've done before. So it's almost like a kind of a grid. So you could take a pen and you could almost like, you know, do your, I'm sure everybody's done this before, like a SWOT analysis on Jamboard. So say you're working on a new strategy with young people, or you're working on a kind of a community plan or something, you could replicate a SWOT analysis using Jamboard. So people could then either type their ideas in here. So they could be like, a strength of a youth strategy is that it's what I'm typing in white here. That's fantastic. There we go. Could be that it's youth led. Start again. A threat, you know, could be that there's maybe not as much buy-in from kind of decision makers. But yeah, you can kind of think through some of those kind of like planning sort of options, like, you know, evaluation options on this as well. Another one is to use with young people that I've used is planning an event. So yeah, you can see here that I've put an image in the middle just to kind of like frame the conversation, and then young people can use Postit notes coming out as a kind of mind map thing. So having a free event, attracting a large audience. This is the kind of benefits of having an online thing. So yeah, so that's kind of Jamboard in a nutshell. It's a really easy to use tool. It's accessible. It's got simple functionalities. It's got good functionalities that you can use that you would maybe use within a in-person session that you can't use online. And it just brings a little bit of interaction and kind of collaboration to what might be just quite a kind of stagnant meeting. So it's really useful to think about using, quite easy to use in kind of conjunction with other platforms as well. So you can see that I'm on Zoom just now recording this, but you can share your screen and you can have the Jamboard up live. All you need to do is ping through the link at the top. So just as long as you make sure, so I've got sharing function here, as long as you make sure that on sharing you've got this bit here, instead of viewer, you've got it to editor, and then click done. All you need to do then is click this link and copy it into the Zoom chat, and then anyone with that link will be able to jump on to this Jamboard and start adding their own post-its and start adding their own kind of thoughts and ideas. So it's really good to use. You can also use it on Teams or pretty much any sort of kind of web conference kind of function. So yeah, that's Jamboard. I hope that's useful, and I hope that you're able to use it in some of your practice going forward when we're still on a kind of online work basis. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, or if anybody's using Jamboard in a really cool way that I've maybe not thought about or I've not explored today, I'm sure there's loads of people out there in the kind of CLD networks that would love to hear that. So yeah, please share any other ideas or things that you've used it for on the Slack channels, so that other people can kind of get inspiration and take on board your good practice as well. I think that's all from me. So yeah, thank you, and I'll speak to you all soon.